like an hour and 20 minutes.
Something like that.
This is going to be,
very quick night.
I think, our shortest day of casting ever.
Ultimate record of all time.
That's right. We're speed running through this cast.
Shouldn't have even come in today.
That's right.
You should have just tweeted the cast of the games.
Lings and mutas.
Wow, he hit 4 lings. He won.
This is all because the matchup Zerg versus Zerg is statistically the shortest matchup. It's a tricky matchup at that. And we saw the Hyun completely duped Gameo, hid those 4 lings, and then snowballed that game as Gameo was trying to get the Spire out.
That's
and
right.
He basically got the kill at the exact right time. There was no mutas there to save the drones in time. Hyun overran his opponent. Let's just say, like, okay, what happens if the lings come out and they're all taken out? There's like 1 or 2 drones mining. Well, then Hyun just makes an evolution chamber and a spore and does whatever he wants because the other guy's on 1 worker. What will happen this game, I don't know. I feel like both Shine and Hyun have shown that they understand the depth and all these different tactics that ZVZ require.
Yeah,
I think it's anybody's game.
They're both sneaky snakes for sure, so anything could occur now.
All right, guys, let's go. Our last match of the night, Shine versus Hyun. That was me on the guitar.
I could tell,
Yeah.
I was wondering why you brought your guitar to work today.
Yeah, that's right. In the bottom right, in the red, Shine. In the upper left, in the white, Hyun.
Here's a question.
Go ahead.
Do you call this work?
Do I call this work?
When you talk about this, do you call it work to the people you talk to about it too?
Oh, like if something like let's say somebody's calling me and they're like, "Hey, do you want to meet up this evening?" And I'm like, I would say I have to go to work. But I love my work. So,
for sure. I was just wondering if you call it work or not, right? Because like
well,
I could see calling
it's
it
the
like
best
I
job
have to go
for me in the world.
cast or I have GSL tonight or whatever. Like I mean, obviously you probably say various things, but I just was wondering if you call it work.
I've called it work before.
Because it doesn't feel like work.
No, it's the best job in the world, and you're doing what you love. This is a 4-player map. They are in cross spots. Lings are still a viability, though.
Yeah.
It's obviously a longer travel distance. Also, this map has a lot of open areas in the center, so you can actually maneuver around Overlords if you get a good read, which is something to watch out for.
For sure. It definitely looks like Shine is going to be most likely the aggressor coming up. Hyun droning a bit longer.
Also, the distance from your main to your natural is actually pretty far. So if you can have lings hitting both locations, it's pretty strong. Now, what it appears that Hyun is doing is just getting a later spawning pool and extractor than Shine has. And one's not necessarily better than the other. If you make your extractor and pool just right after them, then it's basically better because you probably had another drone.
That's actually exactly right. Like, this is a very basic thing about ZVZ is, like, if you have 1 more drone than your opponent, you're leading. So, like, if you can somehow, like, let's say you scout in opposite directions and your opponent doesn't scout with your Overlord and you scout with your Overlord, you have a big advantage because you get to see when they make their pool, and you can make your pool, like, a drone after or 2 drones after, let's say. And that in and of itself is nice.
Now, note that Hyun is getting another hatchery, and we don't see Shine doing that. And part of that's because Shine can't afford it, but Shine's going to be teching a little bit quicker. He has not found his opponents. So both these guys are still in the dark. They still need to get a read on what the other player is doing and then figure out, like, what's the best way to respond to that.
And Shine, Hyun taking this extra base and the fact that there's this many lings already out on the map and he doesn't know about it, this could go very wrongly for him.
Yeah, Hyun down here with these slow lings. Now, keep in mind, Shine's ling speed if he's getting it, and there are moments where you don't necessarily get ling speed because you're just trying to have enough pressure, but then you're teching to mutas behind it. But yeah, I mean, if he got his, if they're both going for ling speed and one guy got the pool a little bit later, then ling speed would finish first for Shine. So let's see if that occurs over here. Also, Link speed's done.
Yeah. Big drone pull here for Hyun. He's taking this very seriously as you saw it coming with that one scout link.
Ooh, good targeting.
Ooh,
good
yeah.
targeting. Shaved off one in the front.
That was basically a free drone right there. The drone's definitely messing up the AI quite a bit, and Hyun is holding tight so far, but still a Ling advantage here for Shine, continuing to rally up.
I actually think Hyun's going to hold this.
Yeah, it looks like it, just barely.
Now, how many drones do we have? We have 2 there. I don't know if we're going to get a shot of the main here.
Okay, so that's like
So I think it's
7 drones mining minerals and 2 on gas or so?
Yeah, it's about 9 to 10 drones. And I think he's making a spire in that nook over there. And it's, I think that was 6
Pretty
drones
similar.
total up there in
Yeah.
Hyun's base. So he lost a good amount of workers. Now he has 2 hatches.
Yeah, that's
so he can make more.
It's such a big deal because really a lot of this comes down to the limiting of larva. If you can just make more than your opponent, sure, he might be down some drones, but he can spend all of these larvae right now, which is going to give him a unit advantage.
Now it's speedlings versus slowlings. It's Hyun with the slowlings. So Hyun has to kind of hold his position here and wait until more lings hatch and then try to jump on top of them.
Speed finishes for him as well.
He's got speed now. You're right. See, he's trying to get in there and surround. That was sick. That was really good.
That was really well done. And Hyun does come down, but it's a little bit too late there. He lost those lings almost completely for free.
More lings are coming down here to try to meet up with this. Keep in mind the hatchery. Whenever they Shine doesn't feel like he can engage Hyun, he just tries to damage the hatch to bait out his opponent. Can he get that drone?
It's putting a clock on him at the moment. Wow, a drone coming out of Hyun here. So if he loses this hatchery, that's like his only advantage. Shine is playing fantastically right now.
By the way, Shine is teching up to a spire right now, and I think this hatchery is going to go down. Hyun can't save it.
Oh boy, really going wrong right now for Hyun. A couple more lings will pop out. Drones drill down to help push this back, but he's already lost the hatchery.
Now, see the position of that spire right there? That's very intentional because it's hard for lings to surround in case a ling counterattack comes in. They don't have quite as much surface area. So all Shine has to do is run back home. I don't quite know where the tech is right here for
Hyun doesn't have a spire. He absolutely doesn't. I don't think he started one. I'm like watching those white dots, and it doesn't look like it. So I think he's just going for a ling all-in at this point. He did get a few extra larvae.
Now, it's still possible for this game to spiral out of control, but the mutas with the lings at the ramp, that is going to seal the deal, I think.
Yeah, this is such an advantage. And look at this, the one muta going to chase these lings. Like, do they sit there? No, they have to run away, which lets Shine get the pressure off of his back. Evolution Chamber on the way so he can get spores in his main base, but Hyun is in a lot of trouble here. Shine even has sunken up.
Okay, so he's going to try to make these spores and slow tech to mutas. Now, it's still 1 hatch versus 1 hatch. These spores it looks like they're placed really, really well. I'm not sure if these mutas can get in there in time. Hyun's going to try to squeeze in and do some damage. Now, how many drones can he kill before these spores are up? There's nowhere to run with them.
He's going to get at least 2-3 drones, that's for sure. More mutas popping out, stopping Hyun's attack here. Hyun in so much trouble, doing no damage to Shine.
And let's see, I think I saw 1, 2, 3,
I think
4,
he killed
5,
3-4
6.
drones.
I think there's 6 drones total there.
Jeez.
And that's it. Hyun's going to tap out as he would be losing all of his overlords on the map. Shine, the GSL and ASL observer, is moving on to the top 8. This guy's got to get back to work, Artosis, but I don't know when that's going to be.
This is too crazy. He is going to be the hero of the next wave, Schick. There is no doubt about this.
Absolutely.
I think that you and I should actually, invite him out and break his fingers, because if we don't, then he can't observe. I was going to say,
that's true.
If he can't observe for us, if he becomes a pro gamer once again and stops observing Tasis, what are we to do?
I don't know. I mean, Shine, right now, along with Flash, are the only 2 players in the top 8.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? Beating Hyun, by the way, I really thought Hyun was going to be the guy that gets out first. I don't know why I decided early on that in my head that Shine would not advance. I guess I just pigeonholed him as an observer.
Tasteless, he's married with children and the observer, so you would imagine all these things would coalesce into a player that cannot compete, but apparently it's not the case. He is now in the round of 8, which is crazy. And, I mean, good for him. Remember how much he was talking during that group selection ceremony?
Yeah.
Like all that trash talk and stuff? Well, here we are. Here we are. He's in the round of 8.
주인공이 됐어요. 소감이 어떠신가요?
사실 좀 요새 좀 제 개인적으로 일이 좀 많아가지고 방송도 못
You
하고
are the second player to make the round of 8. How do you feel now?
사실 크게 기대를 안 하고 왔었어요. 그래가지고 솔직히
Well, I didn't really have a lot of time to practice. I've had a lot of things I've had to take care of lately.
다행인 것 같아요.
And I
연습을 많이
didn't have
못했는데
very much expectation to actually make it.
경기가 잘 풀렸다.
But, you know,
정말
with that being said,
대단합니다.
I'm
근데
quite
오늘
happy that I
최종전까지
advanced.
힘들게 왔잖아요.
네.
최종전까지 오게 된 이유는 뭐라고 생각하시나요?
사실